Well, hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, in what's considered a struggle of life, there seem to be people that are considered well-to-do or rich, and we'll call them rich folks. Then there's a lot of people that are in the middle that make well off of this system, and we call them the middle class. And then we got what we call the poor people out here, which is for the most part, and I don't mean this in a bad way because I'm fixing to change your perception on something right here real quick. I consider that you and me, brothers and sisters. We're either poor by our situation, we're either poor by choice, we're poor because we're not materialistic, we're poor because we see value in life, like growing, living, plants, our life, our time, our quality, us. And we seek this with other humans and other people like us, and some of us call ourselves earth children, some of us call ourselves brothers and sisters, some of us call ourselves tribe, but we all have this one common bond. We don't have what a select other few have, and yet we envy them. But we think they got it made, and we think that all their life is perfect. Kind of like looking at the neighbors, and you think, oh, the Joneses' house is, and their house is in good order, and they have a good family. Well, you don't know what goes on. Well, I just want to let you in on a little something, because the fact that you don't have a whole lot, there was never a whole lot to have. You were given life, and you need air, water, and food for that, and you need shelter to maintain. Other than that, everything else has been sold to you or been told to you. You've been programmed into believing that is the way to live, to have a 90,000 square foot house and to own property. And nobody even really owns their property. You're just a steward of the property while you pay property taxes on it. So all those people out there that you think, oh man, they own their home, they got it made. They don't own their home. Nobody owns a damn thing. When you pay taxes on it, like property taxes, and you don't pay those property taxes, let's see how long you own that home. All right, so that's one perception. So you're never going to own anything. So if you're renting or you're having to stay with somebody, you're doing just like everybody else. You just ain't on some lifetime lease or contract for that one house. You have the freedom and the ability to move from house to house. The broker you got to get something cheaper. You might have to wind up down in a van by the creek, but whatever. You did what you had to do. You didn't. You see the value in life and home and friends and all the things around you are very real because that's all you got. Well, did you ever think about rich people? You think about their Christmas like, oh man, they can get all their kids all these things. They can do this, they can do that. And you're sitting here and you got to scrimp and scrape just to give them this one little thing. Well, that one little thing, they know that you scrimped and saved on. The rich people, that you sitting around with them because you've been working all week and you just did get a Christmas holiday, and what little bit of paycheck you got, and you had to use that one paycheck right before Christmas. I know, don't trust me, and get kids or whatever, your loved one, your spouse, your significant other, you get them something nice, but it's that one thing. Well, they appreciate that one thing. Those rich folks, for them to spend $100 is like you spending a thousand. They can get their kid a car. They can get their kid. They give them so much stuff that the kids don't appreciate it. They got so much stuff that they can't even use it, and it's junk, and it clutters in the house. It looks kind of like what's behind me, don't it? So you get it. All these things to get, all these things to buy, all these things to have to make you happy. No, the very poor people around you, your family members, your loved ones, your friends that you chose, that are around you because they chose you, because you all got that common bond and not having nothing or thinking you ain't got nothing when you got everything, y'all. Poor folks have everything. We have family, we have love, we have equality because we're all poor. We don't have racism because we're all poor. We can't worry about that. We trying to feed each other. And I live this, so nobody can tell me no different. I lived it from birth to the time I went out into the world, and I went out there and I did well and I made good money, and I tried to have all them things, and nothing ever filled the void of what I shared with poor other people that didn't even look like me. And we didn't have a mirror, so I didn't even know nobody looked different than me for the longest time. I didn't look in mirrors. I didn't care. Nothing was different. We was all poor. We all had the same struggle, which is natural law of life. To have a dinner at the end of the day, to fill your body with some food, to have a little shelter, you call that a struggle. Well, if you were working or not, that would still be your life. You still have to eat. It's not a struggle. It's the reality of life, but it's put as a struggle on us because all this around us costs so much. If you're not making at least something like, what is it, $47,000 a year in America, you can't even watch a commercial on TV because the commercials are only for people that make 47,000 and up. So, but I'm talking about the just us. What probably don't even got that, never even got nowhere near it, and think that well, look, when it comes down to it, they sit back and envy us, y'all, because they have the real struggle. They have something they have to hold on to. They don't get the family. They're trying to buy a kid's love and appreciation at Christmas when we have ours, because they literally know that we feed them and we love them and we take care of them, that we sacrifice our life and what we have been shown and the part of society that we wound up in, that we love them and we're here for them. That's called family unit. We have that with our friends. These people don't have that with our friends. Can y'all imagine a dinner? Oh, I'd say the barbecue, right? Everybody loves a barbecue, man. Invite all these folks over, and we know this guy probably don't like each other, and they might drink a few beers. We worry about scrapping, whatever. We have a good time. All the food gets ate too. You ever notice that at a barbecue? All the food gets ate. Somebody be picking at them little black things left on the grill sometime. Man, that stuff's so good. Nom, 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 nom. That's good. And we all have fun, and we all have a few drinks together and hang out, and it's a barbecue. Everybody knows about the barbecue, right? We know some people are invited to the barbecue and some people ain't invited to the barbecue. Think about that, because that's your power too, see? And you think they got it made, but they ain't invited to the barbecue. But think about one of their fancy dinners and all these rich mummies sitting around a table, and they all got wine and they all got food, and nobody's eating and everybody's yakking and everybody's trying to sound smarter than the other, and they're all rich, so they're all basically narcissists. And I'm sorry, but I have not, to this day, I have not met a one rich person that did not suffer from some form of narcissism. It's like, you know, they're either helping you out, or because of their money, they want this certain respect, and you need to worship them for that. Or if you treat them any different than a servant, they'll just shun you off. In other words, they don't need you. They got money. But see, that's just it. Well, you think their brains are any different than yours? They want to be socially accepted, so they dress up in fashions and they get new cars and they go to these high dollar clubs. We go to the barbecue. We go to the bar down the street and shoot pool with the brothers or the sisters down there. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, our life is envy. You look at somebody like me, and I can go out in the swamp and I can pull a catfish out of a lake and eat that catfish. I can grab a deer by the leg. I love being what's considered a redneck. I love being a country boy. I'm good at it. I've been shown it from early life from the poor people, right? How to take care of myself, but how to also coexist and commune with nature and be a part of it. Not to eat it, just to be a part of it. I probably play with animals more than I've ever eaten them, y'all. I probably enjoyed their company and watched them and enjoyed that rich part of my life. I mean, that makes me just a zillionaire. If that you want to put a value and a price on something, just my commune with nature, just watching the things I've watched. Little black bears playing in the woods look like little swamp forest clowns, you know. I love it. It's just things you can see. They don't get that. They scared of it. They got money, so they want to live forever to spend that money. They got to work to do what they do to keep that money. Everything's about the money. Matter of fact, they go buy land in places like Colorado or down in Florida, and they'll have people like me come in, and the nice ones will have people like me come in and relocate the gators and relocate the bears and relocate the wolves, or they'll just come in and kill the bears and the wolves and the gators because they fear. See, those people live in fear. Our struggle for life and to get our next meal and to pay our rent, well, we ain't got time to be afraid. We ain't got time to be afraid. We too busy. We're trying to work in this monetary system, and we might have a little garden out in the back, and we still take time out for our family. We look out for each other. They don't look out for each other, y'all. In fact, they look at us with envy and contempt because we are free and they are slaves to the system. The system made them, so without the system, they are nothing. We are the machine. We are the reason there is a system. You get it now? We are, if you're a worker, if you just just look at society as a joke and wonder what all these people are doing, running around in such a rush, and can't. Oh man, I don't want to be late to put this piece of paper into this time clock to mark time so I can get paid. No, oh man, I'm waiting for my corporation to get richer so they'll trickle me down some money. No, ever notice with poor people too? One brother hits good on a lottery ticket, hit a $50 lottery ticket. Man, he's got a beer for everybody else. He's got a joint for everybody else. We spread things. The most poverty-stricken area in the world in Africa, there was these Catholic missionaries, and but besides who they was, the one guy walked up to a little group of kids. There was about 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them sitting right there, and he handed them an orange just because they were starving. And he handed them an orange, and the kid he eagerly peeled up an orange, but then he stopped and he started handing everybody else a slice. See, rich people would have run off with that orange. See what I'm saying? They got everything in the world and they want to get it cheaper. You ever notice that too? Poor people, when a brother comes up to them, yeah, we might try to barter, or we might think something's fair, but we speak to each other in fair terms. Like when I say, hey, I'll do this, I'll do this job, and I see you need that fixed over there, I'll fix it for you for $100. Well, I wouldn't want nobody, I wouldn't pay nobody no more, and I would not want nobody to charge me no more than $100 for the same thing. So we treat each other equal because we're equally in the same boat, right? We're the same. We're poor. They take they're always trying to. I mean, look, I hate to bring him up because I ain't brought up his name in a long time, but it's a fine example of how rich rip off the poor that to get richer. Just look at Donald Trump. He's got about 3,000 lawsuits just from people from his business. This has nothing to do with him being president, y'all. So damn the politics of it. I'm just talking about here's a man that builds buildings and don't pay his workers so he can be richer. See, they want, and it's weird. We get a dollar, all right, or let's say we get a paycheck, and we figure out what to do with that paycheck. When they get $1 million, all they forgot about that $1 million. Now they're thinking about having $10 million. Then when they get $10 million, all they're thinking about then is getting $100 million. We don't think like that. We just think about what we're our life. I mean, we're not looking at the things that they're looking at, but see, that's just it. They're trapped. You are not trapped. If you think that being poor or poverty is a trap, you're very, very mistaken. And this is what I wanted to tell you all along. There never was no rich and poor. There are those of us that know this earth and know what brotherhood means. They know about coexisting. And we also know about the balance of life. We can't take too much away just for us, or we'll disrupt that balance and other things die and we die. They know this and they think they can escape it with their money. We know this and we can coexist with it when all of this around collapses. We are the people that have been put through the fire of living and dying on this earth, the real earth, not jet setting to look at a jungle from a hotel room, not jet setting to go look at a sunset somewhere from a patio of my condo. No, we walk it, we eat from it, we use the medicine from it, we commune with it and love our mother and talk to her. We see the souls in our brothers and sisters and we dance with them because they are us and we are them. That is us poor people. So think poor is a bad thing? I wish everybody was poor. And this world would be a better place. Man would help man. Peace would be at hand because war brings money. War generates money and that makes rich people. So they want war and the poor people want peace. So we live and strive and struggle. There's our real struggle, is to have peace. Fighting for peace is an oxymoron. So we need to just live for peace and rub it in these rich cocksuckers' faces. Our freedom, our brotherhood, our unity, our disregard for their materialistic world full of plastic and aluminum trinkets. The fact that gold is a worthless metal and a diamond is nothing better than an industrial tool to help build their condos and their Mercedes and their planes. So whatever. The richest people on this world are the most fearful and saddest people you would ever meet. And they look at you with envy. They look at you with contempt. because you look at your baby as all you have. You look at other children as life coming after you. You see a good meal as a good meal, and you eat your food and enjoy it. You walk around this earth not being bound to fear, not being bound to somebody taking what you got. You're sharing what you have. The poor share, the rich take. We are the stewards and the caretakers of this planet. And we're also the ones that spoon feed these motherfuckers and make them think they somebody. So you quit letting them think they're somebody. They ain't nobody. We, the people, are living souls, beings of light, and the materialistic things of this world that we don't need that destroy our planet. We will wean this out. We will break their conditioning to make us feel lesser, like we need them, when all along, if the rich did not have the slaves, there would be no rich. If nobody spent their money, there would be no money. So that shows that their lifestyle and their perception of what you're thinking is life, what they're trying to show you life, is actually death. It's a trap. It has nothing to do with the natural way of living on this planet and who we are as a species. So we have been fooled into making them rich. We have been fooled into destroying our own life source. We have been fooled into hating each other. But the one thing I'm gonna let you be unfooled on is something wrong with poor. There is nothing wrong with poor. Yes, there is something wrong with starvation. Yes, there is something wrong with letting people just be malnourished and die in the streets. But that ain't poor. That's apathy. That's what that is. That's where the rich got you not caring and thinking about yourself. Well, the part of you inside of you that thinks about everybody else, that's your poor part. That's also the best part of you, brothers and sisters. That's the best part inside of you, the part that cares about something more than yourself. And rich people will never do that. So they envy us. They envy us because we can love and they can fear. Okay? Think about that, y'all. I love being poor. Let me tell you something. My house is right behind me in that chair. Everything I need, I can put in 3 bags. And I've never felt more free in my life. And I never felt like I've had more in my life. I've never felt more fulfilled. And listen, I don't recommend it for everybody. And you know what? Because of other things and other people in my life, I am willing to mix in and do other things to help them, to help my own happiness. But they also, I don't go get around people or even show friendship to people that don't show it back. So the person that loves me, the person I want to spend time with, she never had a problem with being poor either, and she had it all too. And that big house and that big car and all that stuff comes with all them bills and all that stress and all that worry, and it was all an illusion, because everything you bought and everything you did was for somebody else. You never did it for you. If you really did something for you, you would be poor. And I mean poor by being connected to the planet, to your brother, and to the reality that money cannot buy what we have to have. Air, food, and water should not even be for sale, and we're buying it. But we can grow it too, and we can get our own. So let's just keep being poor. The more, yeah, let them have their money. What the hell you want? Do you really want that life you see out there? Do you really? Do you really think those people like Paris Hilton and Donald Trump and all them are really having fun? Do you really think they have fulfilling lives? Do you really think they have something you don't have besides money? Think about that. Because you got a soul, and you got people around you that are just like you, and they all may be the same, but they're narcissists. So they're, for every rich person, there's a whole different universe, and they're the center of it. So think about that. We live together. We breathe together. We eat together. We love together. We hate together. We die together. But we also communicate better than anybody else. The poor people of the earth are able to communicate and speak to each other and deal with each other better than anybody else on the earth. We just keep wanting one of them to help out. We don't need them. They need us. Think about that. I love y'all. Be free, live free, and die living. And as long as you die with a full belly, I guess you're all right. But you know what? That don't even matter either, as long as you die free and living. If you were living your last breath and you learn how to think about your own power and the very people around you, the masses of us, 80% of us on this earth are poor, y'all. Did you ever stop and think about that? I'm going to leave you with that last little statistic. 80% of this planet is poor. Think about that. I love y'all. Peace, be poor, and don't live in fear.